Hey guys, Vegeta with a trailer review. This time I'll be reviewing the Garulu Saber, Basshaa Magnum, and Dogga Hammer from Master Kiva. These three tomes, known collectively as the Arms Monsters, are used by Kiva to transform as his other forms and also serve as his weapons in those forms. Now of note is that for this is actually a partially new review and partial re-review, as I have never reviewed the Garulu Saber before, but I have reviewed the Basshaa Magnum and Dogga Hammer in the past. However, I decided that because they are meant to be a trio, I would take a look at them all together. So, let's get started. First up, we have the Garulu Saber. Just taking a look at him, you can see that he is a blue, gold, and black werewolf, who in the series is the last member of the Wolfen tribe. So, one other thing to note about this is that for mine I got this used, so there is a little bit of paint wear here and there. But, looking at the sculpt, first off we have the head, which you can see is very nicely sculpted and painted. You also see that he interestingly has a horn right here, which is not a common feature for werewolves. And for all of the Arms Monsters, they're designed to look as if they are sealed or chained away. So, for Garulu, he's got this seal right here on his chest that is bound across his body with these chains. It's also further supported by how he has his arms crossed across his chest. Or arms crossed across his chest, rather. Getting down to the base, you can see this symbol with a crescent moon, which is also on his chest, but in this case it's tilted, so it actually more resembles the crescent. We've got one of the buttons for the toy here, the speaker is over here, and the power switch is here. On the handle we have the battery compartment, which it takes 2 AAA batteries to work. And on the back, we have this long mane, which also resembles a crescent moon. So starting off, we'll switch it on, and we'll get the standard activation sound. So in this mode, pressing the button on the base will get you one of 3 patterns in a cycle. First, it'll howl once, then twice, then 3 times, then it'll cycle back to the beginning. So, to transform him into sword mode, we'll start by lifting up this part, and this, to form the jaws. We'll press and hold this button back here and raise up the mane. Then twist it twice, once here, and once here. And there we have the Garulu Saber in sword mode. So here you now see it becomes this curved blade attached to a large wolf head. And you see it retains the horn from the tone mode, though you can also see part of his head, including his eyes, behind the head itself. But you can see that it goes along well with these parts back here that form the fur of the wolf head, as well as the ears. So in this mode, pressing the trigger will get you one of 2 slashing sounds. Then pressing down the button on the back will get you a howling attack sound. Additionally, if we bring back in the Kivet belt, we can use the blade of the Garulu Saber to activate the Garulu Bite. And in the series, that's what's used to activate his special attack, the Garulu Howling Slash. Then, to transform him back into totem mode, first start by pressing and holding this button, or actually first we fold down this jaw, then press this button, which will lower the top jaw, then twist back the mane, and press and hold that button to fold it back down.
Basshaa Magnum.
Next up we have the Basshaa Magnum. So Basshaa is a green and gold swamp creature who is the last member of the merman tribe. Even though merfolk and swamp creatures aren't quite the same, that is what they're called in Kiva. So, you can see some more nice sculpting and paintwork on the head here. Coming down the chest, you can see the seal here. And one thing to note about the seals on all of them is that they actually have the same symbols that are on their respective vessels. So in Bassha's case, you can see the chains wrap around to the back, where his hands are folded behind his back. We've got this entire section back here, which will come into play more in the gun mode, as well as these 3 fins on the sides, and some nice detailing down the back, or rather down the bottom. Full transformation here. Press and hold these 2 buttons on the sides, and lift up the trigger. Then, squeeze it once. That activates the gimmick and transforms it into gun mode. So here we now see we got a couple of jaws here, perhaps something like shark jaws or some other kind of dangerous aquatic creature. Then the 3 fins fan out. You've got the muzzle here, which has a bit of red on it, which is nice. And then this part becomes the handle and trigger. And for this one, this is the only one out of the 3 that has no electronic functions. So in this case, really you just have the gimmick of pulling a trigger which will rotate the fins. But you also pull it continuously to keep the spinning going. Then we can bring back in the Kivat belt. And this time, we'll take this part and push it down on the teeth to activate the Basshaa bite. Let me do that again. And that activates the Basshaa Aqua Tornado. Then transforming back is as simple as just screwing these back into place. Though they do have a tendency to get rotated out of place. Then just fold this back down.
Dogga Hammer.
And last but not least, we have the Dogga Hammer. So, Dogga is a purple and gold Frankenstein's monster who is the last member of the Franken tribe. And while it is definitely weird to have a tribe of Frankenstein's monster, a big theme in Kiva that we're going for was famous movie monsters, so the Frankenstein's monster definitely is a good fit. You can see the head here. It has some nice lightning bolt shaped marks on it. Got a lot of nice detailing going down the body. In the case of Dogga, you can see that his arms are chained together in front of him, where you can see chains going down the arms here, then coming all the way down the body like this. Once again, you have the symbol on the chest. We come down to the base, which has the speaker right here, and the power switch right here. The battery component is back here, and again, it takes 2 AAA batteries. And then you have this whole section which will become the handle for the weapon mode. So, switching it on. In the case of the Dogga Hammer, there aren't any specific sounds for the totem mode, so we'll just get to switching to weapon mode. First, we're going to take this panel and flip it all the way back like this to hide the head. And we'll press and hold this button here with the lightning bolt mark and fold down the hammer. And there we have the Dogga Hammer in hammer mode. As you can see, it's a big hammer with a big fist attached as the hammerhead. In this mode, pulling the trigger will get you a standard hammer attack sound rather. Pressing and holding it will get you a charge up for a special attack. Then releasing the trigger activates said special attack. And finally, it has an additional feature in that if you pull back this lever here, it opens up the palm and reveals the true eye. And this is a feature used in the series to basically freeze opponents in place. Kind of like a Gorgon eye. Now, it has a couple of different things you can do. Basically, it'll search for something until it either fails or hits. So, if we just load it back down, we can try that again. And that means it's a success. You can also activate that by pressing and holding the trigger, or just pressing it. And the longer you hold the trigger, the longer it'll go. Or so I thought. Typically, it'll go at least 3 times. Sometimes it'll go for less or more. Then lastly, if we bring in the cuvette belt again, we can use the handle to activate the Dogga Bite. And that's to activate the Dogga Thunderslap, which is actually the sound you get from pressing and holding the trigger. Then transforming back, you simply fold back up the handle and fold back up the face. And there we go. So overall, these 3 basically show off what used to be the standard for rider weapons, in that they were typically these pretty simple standalone toys that would have some sort of simple but fun gimmick to them, but they were typically self-contained. And that is something that we haven't seen all too much lately, since in recent years it's been very typical for the toys to interact with either the belt or with the show's gimmick. At least in terms of the weapons and such, and often they'd also include those gimmicks to go along with them and give them more of an incentive to buy them, but it used to be a much simpler time. That being said, it's not like we haven't seen them much lately, since they did make a slight comeback in Gaim with the Arms Weapon series, which was mostly standalone, though the Daidai could interact with the Muso Saber. And most recently, we've seen something like this happen again in Build with the Best Match Weapons. And it is interesting that for this most recent series, they're kind of going back to an older philosophy of making toys, at least in some fashion. And as far as these three go, they definitely do their job right. They are quite nicely molded and detailed. I can definitely say that the tone modes make very nice display pieces, and the weapon modes are alright too. It is interesting that Garulu and Dogga have sounds, but Basshaa just has the spinning gimmick. That being said, it is still pretty neat to have that kind of mechanical gimmick in it. Though obviously these are not exactly a must-have, since they are not tied to any kind of features of the cuvette belt, but in fairness, there weren't all too many deluxe toys in the Kiva toy line, so in that sense, if you are a Kiva fan, these are definitely worth picking up, as these are a pretty important part of the series. That being said, don't try to pay don't pay too much for them, as they don't do all too much regardless of how old they are. But if you are a Kiva fan, like I said, they are recommended. So, next time I'll be doing a comparison between the deluxe and complete selection modification versions of the Deno Belt and K-Taros. And that'll either be tomorrow at 6 p.m. PST or Wednesday at 7 p.m. PST. And you guys want to make sure and just kind of know what it is for certain, I will have an answer put up or posted in the comments of this video by tomorrow. So if you're watching it and that comment isn't up yet, just check back at a later time. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And if you're new and would like to see more, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. And for now, this is KRX50, writing off.